immediately repeats what I said before I started playing the thing back, and a Kamehameha send a moment to mommy. I enjoy that. Anywho, time for another old lady whose relationship with Agatha is cloudy at best. I didn't even know if that counts as a pun, because I'm going to be dealing with a cloud of sand here in a moment. So, a powered on lead. She only, unlike Aaron, who has a different lead with each of his 4 teams, Bertha only uses 2 leads. She's got her powered on for her first 2 teams, and then she's got something else for her other 2 teams. They pretty much serve the same sort of purpose. The idea is to just put up Sandstorm that lasts eternally because Gen 4. So, I actually went into this thinking I was leading with Tidal so I could get Rain Dance in and just get the Sandstorm out of the way. I don't think I actually ever did put Rain Dance on before fighting Bertha, so I just have to pretty much... So I'm pretty much just going to be dealing with watching the Sandstorm and just regretting my actions, except that it's fine. It's not a huge deal. I'm just leading with $3 anyway because Levitate means that Earthquake can't do shit, so it has to resort to something a little bit weaker such as Crunch, and that gives me the ability to put up some screens. Hippowdon has quite a bit of healing at its disposal. It's got leftovers, as you can see, and it's also got Slack Off on its moveset in case the leftovers aren't quite cutting it. So, $3 goes down. Its purpose has already been served. The idea here is get the screens up and then try to make as many inroads into this team as I possibly can before those run out. And so this is where Tidal comes in and starts to just kick all kinds of ass. Because even with the special defense boost inherent to the Sandstorm, the Surf is still going to do quite a fair bit of damage. I think Hippowdon's special defense normally is not really all that great. I could go look it up, but I don't really feel like it. I'm just looking at the team here instead. But whatever. So as you might expect, because she's only got 2 leads across her 4 teams, it did kind of lead to the odd attempt where I had to go through at least like half of her team before realizing, oh shit, she's not using the right team, reset the whole fucking thing. I think on one occasion, her Mud Boy here was like the 5th Pokemon she sent out, so I killed 4 of her Pokemon, then realized she was sending out the wrong Mud Boy, and then I had to reset the whole fucking thing. Yeah, suffice it to say that's not particularly pleasant when you realize that that's a thing. It's also suffice to say that it's not pleasant when you realize that this Donphan is holding a frickin' Rindo Berry, and so Seed Bomb does a grand total of jack shit. Thankfully Head Smash misses though. Head Smash is a pretty brutal attack to be hit by. I actually kind of wonder if it came about in this generation. I want to say it was like a signature move of Rampardos or something. Don't quote me on that, I have absolutely no idea. Wouldn't be a terrible idea to have that in Pokemon Go though. It could be a rather powerful alternative to Rock Slide. Not that Rampardos needs it in that game. Rampardos is actually like the best rock type attacker in the game, surprisingly enough. It's just it's a glass cannon and can't really take hits all that well, but it's still pretty good. But I digress. Donphan goes down, Gliscor comes in, I've got Ice Beam, so no reason to switch out. I do have to deal with this Protect bullcrap as well, because this is a Poison Heal Toxic Orb Gliscor set, so it basically just is like leftovers, except you also can't inflict any statuses on me, except for Confusion and Attraction, which I didn't have either of those on the set, so nah. Wing Attack also does quite a significant amount of damage. It's not exactly the Gen 1 Wing Attack, I guess, but nah. Props to Spearman for actually bulking the shit out of that one, though. But of course, once I actually got an Ice Beam off, there was no way it was ending any way other than Gliscor getting its ass handed to it. So I think we're halfway through this team now. And coming in is a Golem. I kind of wonder why I didn't just stay in there and try to go with like a Seed Bomb or something, because Spearmint was already pretty much dead. It was going to die at the next turn of Sandstorm anyway, but whatever. I've got the quad weakness here. And I think I take this opportunity to heal something. I don't really know why. It does occur to me, though, that a max potion is better off with Spearmint here, since I'd still be 30 points short if I used a hyper potion. Go brain, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember what this guy... Oh, yeah, Stone Age. That sounds about right. I think I was confident in Title's ability to tank whatever Golem actually threw at me. And I guess it did, because... Like, that's obviously the best case scenario, is actually being able to tank and then also have enough HP to survive one turn of Sandstorm. Because this Golem's going down in one hit anyway with Surf, except it isn't. Spoiler alert, it's got Focus Sash. That's severely depressing. And I think Stone Age hits here anyway. Yeah, it does. So that basically just puts me into a decidedly shitty situation, except I've got old mate back and ready to go in the form of Spearmint. Wait. Oh. Okay. Was I not... I feel like I probably wasn't expecting her to heal here, I guess. Which is dumb. Although I guess just in the heat of the moment, I probably might have even just plain forgot that she was going to do that healing. Which sucks. Especially since I bowled Bertha into frickin' Stealth Rocks and she just loses half of her health on the spot there. So, this first round of the Bertha versus Bertha mirror match does not, appear to be going particularly well for my bug. Especially since Stone Age just decides, no, it's on the, side of the computer here, so it's 100% accurate. Also critical because fuck you. Game does not... Game really wants to just drive home the fact that it just refuses to allow me to win my mirror matches, it seems. So now I've got to send in Spearmint, loses a quarter of its health immediately because of rocks. Seed Bomb gets rid of it anyway because it's already close to being dead anyway, but I feel like I friggin' screwed up royally by not just sending Tidal into Surf immediately. Just get the Sash out the way. I can't even remember if at that point I knew that that the thing had Sash or not. I did have the paste bin open while I was doing these fights, so I could have easily just looked over, but I guess I didn't in this case. I'm not too sure. And I guess I should point out the cool little effect that Drayano added to the aces here for each of the Elite Fours, that you just decided to throw in some seals. I think the seals were also used in for the ace Pokemon of the Elite Four. No, not the Elite Four, the gym leaders. I can't quite remember that, but these are pretty cool. They actually have a really nice effect to them as well, particularly Magmortars. You'll see that in the next segment. It fits that one really, really well. This one, it just emits a whole bunch of electrical bolts, which I guess is supposed to... I guess they're supposed to be like shockwaves for when it lands, because it is a pretty big and bulky Pokemon, and big and bulky enough to just win this mirror match here as well. I think the only reason... I feel like I might have been trolled there as well, just because I got the Quick Claw off on the first turn, but I don't think that would have mattered. I think the second turn Quick Claw probably would have mattered, because then I would have actually gotten the KO. But whatever, Solid Rock's not going to save the fucking thing now when it's less than half health, so Spearmint can just sort of bowl in and clean that up. So at this point, I think she's got like... Yeah, this is the Mud Boy on the first team. The Mud Boy on the second team, spoiler alert, is Swampert, so that one's probably a bit more of a threat, and this Whiscash does prove itself to be a bit more annoying than it should be, just because it outspeeds and has bounce, so I have to do some weird gymnastics with switching Pokemon around and ensuring that Spearmint's in full health, so that if it does have to take a bounce, it has the best shot of, like, surviving it. But you also have to take into consideration that it goes in with 75% health at its absolute max because of the rocks. I'm not too sure how annoying that paralysis was going to be, because I think I was actually going to go for a Shadow Ball there And my friggin' computer, stop. So apparently having the Camtasia Studio preview screen playing isn't enough to actually consider the computer not to be idle, and so it just sort of decided to go to its screensaver then just before. Thanks, computer. You're an ass. So I think I get outsped here. I know I get outsped here, so I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I could work my way around the rocks by just using a max potion now. And I think as long as I can survive whatever Whiscash throws at me, one seed bomb will just clean this thing up. And so I think that's pretty much just what happens here. And bounce just misses anyway, so that's pretty good. That works out pretty well. Not that it would have really affected me that much. I guess I just end up using one less hyper potion going into the next fight, I guess. But yeah, respectable enough challenge. I can't remember if that was my first attempt at Bertha, at least for this team. I want to say it was either the first or the second. I think I might have gotten screwed over by like something before. I could just go and look at the raw file if I wanted to, but whatever. Okay, so Paddle Need again. The only real difference between this one and the first one is the nature. First one was an adamant nature, this one's naughty. I can't quite remember what naughty does. I'll have to put a little annotation here. For that, I want to say it's like plus attack minus one of the defensive stats or something like that. Whatever. Same sort of setup here. Wants to get up rocks, wants to get up sand, all that sort of stuff. And meanwhile, I'm just putting up screens and then starting to swing at this thing, hopefully to getting a special defense drop somewhere. Lord knows I need some of those. Unlike with $3 here, Jaeger is susceptible to getting smacked in the face by an earthquake, and so that's what happens there. I find overall that Reflect is just better against this team. She's a bit more physical based. That's not to say she doesn't have special attackers. Let me actually have a look. Okay, well, their first team is nothing but physical attackers. Is it her second team? Nothing but physical attackers. Third team, she's got at least some kind of special attack on her team, and then her fourth team is just nothing but physical attackers. Okay, I thought she would have had some more special attackers, but evidently that's not the case. Oh yeah, she's got one on this team that's pretty much exclusively special attacker. But okay. So Illison goes in. The bloody hippo drops dead, and what does she bring in here? I think she brings in. Oh, okay. It was either going to be that or the Camerupt, but without any ice on this team, this Gliscor can potentially cause a bit more of a problem. So Mitroast, probably the best special attacker on the team. Either that or Ghost Trick, but I feel like Mitroast probably won't be doing a whole lot else aside from fighting this Gliscor. I don't think it'll excel a whole lot against any of the other stuff on her team here. So I think that's the rationale behind that one. Same sort of Toxicor Poison Heal shtick. And then here I just hit the overheat button, which I think wasn't a particularly great idea. Unless I actually managed to one-bang it. I think I one-bang it? No, I don't. Yeah, that's the thing I don't really like about overheat is the idea of the overheat button is to kill whatever the hell it is that's standing on the other side of you. Standing across from you, flying across from you, something. Yeah, and Sandstorm, of course, decides to prove its worth here by doing that. And so at this point, with the combination of that plus Roost and shit, I'm just like, yeah, Roost is not getting a KO here. So I got to work out what I want to bloody switch into, whether it's going to have to be Death Fodder or something. I think. Yeah, I think I just go with the Ghost Trick, because I got the special defense drop with Shadow Ball, so I think it's just lob the best special attack I've got on this set, and then hopefully one-bang it. Decides to waste a Roost there. I'm not entirely sure why. I can't remember how much PP Roast has. I want to say it's like 15 or 20. It could be 10, but I don't think it would be. That's the thing with Roast is, on top of being able to heal, it does sort of nullify the flying typing on this thing, so that actually proves to be a bit of a benefit to it, because then it's not quad weak to ice for a turn. But even with the special defense drop, Moonblast is not enough to get over Gliscor, so I'm expecting her to heal it, so I'm just like, okay, screw it, just keep friggin' lobbing Moonblast. I don't think it's going to be much of a difference. Or I just use Nasty Plot, with the knowledge that she is going to heal it, so Nasty Plot up, and then Moonblast again is just going to one-bang it with the greatest of ease. For once, Nasty Plot actually becomes useful. I think this is literally the only time Nasty Plot is ever useful across all 20 of these battles. So, wait, 5 times 4 is... yeah. I don't know why I had to run that calculation in my head. I should quite easily know what 5 times 4 is. But anyway, Moonblast, this thing dies. That's pretty much it. It dies. If it somehow survived, it could have potentially had a special attack drop, which would be completely inconsequential, but that's the value of Nasty Plot. It's a shame I didn't cash in on that value anywhere near as much as I probably should have. Again, it's probably just because I'm getting outspeeded by stuff with like Scarves and very easily getting 2-banged by stuff. So it just kind of renders the Nasty Plot borderline useless. I think the only reason I even went for Shadow Ball here on the Sudowoodo is just to conserve Moonblast PP, just sort of spread all the use out evenly. But with +2 special attack, I don't think it would have mattered. Sudowoodo was dying anyway, and the crit comes in as well, just to make sure that thing stays the fuck down. So I think that's roughly half of her team, or somewhere around about that. Torterra. Does she have Torterra somewhere else on her team? Ah, yeah, it's on her 4th. I'm starting to wonder if I accidentally left in a failed attempt here, but I don't think I did. The chunk of video here I don't think is quite long enough for that to be the case. I'm like halfway through this chunk, which should just be this attempt at fighting here. Hit the overheat button again. I think I fail again at getting the KO. Oh, no, never mind. Kind of makes me wonder what the hell I... Did she have Torterra in a previous team or something? Because for some reason I just remember going up against a Torterra and then one-banging it with ice. Shit. No, whatever. It's probably the 4th fight. I can't even bloody remember. I'm just hoping I haven't bloody fargoed anything up here. So, my screen has worn off here. I decided to go with a Reflect because, I mean, reasons are pretty obvious right now. I eat a Mega Horn. That's fine. I think all I want to do here is I fully expect something like Mega Horn because I've got Mega Horn on my own Rhyperior. So Reflect should help Illison tank that pretty well. So I can go in with a Leaf Blade. I'm not expecting the knockout. Solid Rock, big bulk, that sort of thing. Leaf Blade does have a high crit rate though. I think that might be what happens here. No, not quite. If it was a crit, it was an easy one-shot, but still did quite a significant amount of damage. And, yeah, the damage that Illison had taken earlier in the fight ended up proving quite a bit more detrimental than I would have liked. So, somewhat, I almost considered Bertha because of Mark Punch, but I expected the heal, so I'm just like, alright, fine, I'll just lob a fucking Moonblast at it. So yeah, there's the full restore. I want to say Moonblast ends up being like a 2-shot here, and obviously I've got the edge in speed, because Rhyperior is just kind of a... It's like freaking Genzaka from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. It just doesn't want to fucking move. It'll just stay in this one spot and meet the opponent to sort of head on in that regard. So, yeah, the Moonblast actually does not get the 2-shot here, so I'm like, alright, probably gonna heal, probably gonna knock me out, one or the other. So I'm just like, Shadow Ball, hopefully get a special defense drop. I don't know why it went for Mega Horn there. I have the quad resistance to that frickin' thing, plus Reflect, so it was never gonna survive. It was never gonna die. Unless it landed a crit or something, but whatever. She doesn't heal it in again, so Shadow Ball does the trick quite nicely there. And then I think that leaves, once again, her Mud Boy, which in this case I think I already established was Swampert. Oh no, Camerupt. Where's her Swampert then? Oh, duh. Okay, this is the only team that actually does not have a Mud Boy. The Sudowoodo takes the number 2 slot instead of a Mud Boy. That's my mistake. She does have a Swampert, it's in the next team. I think that's where I made the mistake, because our other two teams have the same lead, which is not hip out on, but it is still kind of a bit of an ass to deal with. Blows a fucking overheat on a thing that has 10 HP left. I have no idea why. You could very easily have just used. Well, I mean, assuming. Yeah, okay. So it occurs to me that on like this Camerupt's moveset is Overheat, Earth Power, Yawn, and Explosion. So it occurs to me Overheat is literally the only move that could have hit Ghost Trek, because it also has Levitate. And there, Bertha wins round 2, so I guess it ends up 1 apiece in the Bertha versus Bertha mirror match, because Bertha does not play any further role in this segment from here, because she's at her 2 shots. Okay, so, Tyranitar lead. Obviously the goal was to set up Sandstorm, so all you'd have to do is look up stuff that has Sandstream as its ability, and it would make perfect sense to have a Tyranitar in the lead. This Tyranitar is Scarfed, which is why it's outspeeding Dick Kickham here. Dick Kickham is still relatively capable of tanking an Earthquake. The lack of stab certainly helps, and a high jump kick just sort of murders this thing into the middle of next week. I did a little bit of experimenting with this across some of my failed attempts, because these last 2 Bertha fights actually proved to be a bit tricky to get through. Pardon me. I found out that a +1 bulk up Mark Punch is also enough to get rid of Old Mate here, and I feel like that might not have been a bad idea in the 4th fight. Basically, I got to a point where I would kill the Tyranitar, and then I would basically see what she would follow up with, and then basically either continue or switch. Obviously, for this 3rd team, the idea is to have her bring in this Claydol, which is her screen setter. You know, she's actually playing it smart, unlike Aaron did. So, basically, just screens from both sides. It kind of is a bit of a stalemate. It gets a little bit boring here, I guess. Unless I go and switch into something, but that probably wasn't even a good idea either. What do I actually go in here with here? I think Dick Kickham still has some sort of purpose in this fight. Where is this? The 3rd? Yeah, she's got a Mamoswine on her team, but I don't think Dick Kickham does a whole lot against that Mamoswine. But in this case, though, I just go with Illison. Makes some level of sense, because I don't expect Claydol to be able to tank. So I'm just like, alright, Swords Dance. And then... Okay, thankfully the crit does not screw me over here and I get denied. I do think, though, I get a crit of some variety here. Yeah, for some reason I go with Night Slash. I don't know why. Leaf Blade would have been the better option because it had stat behind it. But it ended up being inconsequential anyway because... crit. Illison showing off her crit prowess in the Elite Four in a way that just sort of makes my poor decision making inconsequential. Thanks. You're an absolute pal. So here's the aforementioned Mamoswine. I'd stay in, but the thing's got fucking Ice Shard. I actually failed an attempt because of that. I pretty much had it all set up to go and then just like Ice Shard, which is kind of depressing. So, Rampart. what do I actually go ahead and do here with Rampart? I think the setup here is to tenderize it a bit with Earthquake and then throw like a superpower at it, so that way I can just switch out immediately and not have to worry about the stat drop. I am lucky enough to get the Quick Claw hacks here, but the Earthquake doesn't do a whole lot. And then it becomes an Earthquake war, but her Earthquakes are probably better just because they hit for super effective damage. Not that that's really a whole lot, because, you know, Solid Rock, Reflect. Can't help but feel like I'm slightly repetitive when I'm in this commentary, but whatever. Imagine how much worse it would have been if it was actually live, especially considering all of the times I had to just reload the hard save and then just get screwed over, whether it just be from poor decision making or just RNG and stuff like that. It's just like, you ain't convincing me that live commentary was the better option here. That just ain't happening. So I get Mamoswine down below half, and so here's the point where I decide, alright, time to hit the superpower button. And I believe that does work out, especially with the Quick Claw coming in again to help out. So there goes the big old friggin' Ice Boy. And then I think, is this like her halfway point or something? I'm like seeing the window and it's just like, okay, halfway through this chunk, are we actually halfway through the fight? Somewhat, I guess, I'm not too sure. Anywho, Swampert, who I thought was in the previous team but actually isn't. But Swampert still, it's Swampert, it's about as threatening as you might expect a Swampert to be. So, Illison, I guess the hope here is just get in a Leaf Blade and one-bang it, which I think actually does work out to my benefit. Unless it somehow manages to tank. Can't remember if it actually tanks or not. It shouldn't. It's freaking Leaf Blade. But yeah, whatever. Later, Gator. Except it's not a Gator. Okay, so I think that concludes the screens for both sides here. And so the Rhyperia comes in here. And then I think I just leave Illison out as Death Fodder. I think she's served enough of a purpose as it is. And so... Wait, do I actually... The fuck? Okay, so for some reason I decide to switch. I think it's probably because I was expecting it to use, Yeah, I switched because I was expecting like a Mega Horn or something else to come in. But that didn't happen. I ended up getting Earthquaked anyway, which was really stupid. So, once again, Rampart loses out in the Rhyperia mirror match, which sucks. But one way or the other, I do get the free switch in here, which lets me put $3 back into the fray. For some reason, I go with Gyro Ball here. I'm not entirely sure why. Let's have a look. Oh, that would be why. It's, this Rhyperia's got a choice band, so it's locked into Earthquake. So that's making the best of a decidedly bad situation, which means I can just spam the shit out of Zen Headbutt and kill this thing. It's not going to be able to do anything against me. So, that's nice. That's the thing you have to be aware of when your opponent sends in a choice item, because they don't really tend to switch them out. So you can quite easily lock them into a move that's not going to do anything against you. So that's why $3 just kind of kicking this Rhyperia's ass. And then for some reason I'm switching into Illison here. So she heals. I'm not entirely sure why I went with the switch here. I guess I was expecting the heal. And I guess this was just going too slowly anyway, so I'm like, screw it. Get the free switch in, go to Illison and just try to murder this thing with Leaf Blade, I guess. It is still stuck in Earthquake, mind you, so Illison does have a slight chance of being able to survive, assuming I put the Reflect up. I can't even remember if I did it. I didn't pay any attention to that particular juncture of play. We're about to find out anyway. Okay, yeah. Either way, Illison didn't make it, obviously. So at this point, probably didn't really expect her to heal again, so I'm like, okay, Mark Punch. Fair dues. That's what I love about Mark Punch, just nice, quick and easy, fuck you if you've got more speed than me, I'm just gonna knock you out anyway. It is annoying, but it is absolutely dead set annoying when it gets dealt to you, as I established it happened to me earlier. And I think I just stay in here to go for another Mark Punch to tenderize this dog trio. That's all I do. But then I end up missing. So the pay spin document shows this dog trio as having Arena Trap as its ability. I think it's full of shit because it's holding a choice band. Mark Punch has 100% accuracy otherwise, so as far as I'm concerned, this thing has Sand Veil. That's literally the only possible explanation for Mark Punch missing there when it did. And she has a dog trio in one of her other teams, and I think I actually get myself into a situation like this again against that other dog trio. So I'm pretty sure the dog trios just don't have Arena Trap at all. They will just have Sand Veil, which is kind of depressing because not that the dog trio would have been knocked out by Mark Punch, mind you, but it would have probably helped, I guess. I'm not too sure though, but yeah. Dog trio doesn't have particularly great physical defense anyway, so I don't think that would have been particularly consequential anyway. So here we go with the fourth and final team Tyranitar lead, like with the previous team. So we'll just kill it the same way we did the first time. There's no actual difference here with the exception of nature and a move, and nature and a coverage move. Both of them have dual stabs in the form of Stone Edge and Crunch, and of course Earthquake. One of them has Thunder Punch, the other one has Fire Punch. This Tyranitar in particular is a Jelly nature, so it's actually faster than the other one. So here I think I just go with the Mark Punch shtick, and I think it went for a Stone Edge there. I wasn't quite paying attention, I was looking at the moveset. I think it went for Stone Edge there and missed, which works out really, really well for me, because there is some further use that Dick Kickin can get out of this fight, so I think that's why I just switch out here. Oh, no, I stay in. I think with this dog trio is it's got Aerial Ace, so it can hit me pretty hard. And for once, Mark Punch actually, hits, so I get to work out how much damage that does. It's enough for a 2-shot, so provided dog trio survives... No, I provided Dick Kickin survives dog trio's Earthquake. Then we get to kick some ass and chew bubblegum. No. Just no. This thing's banded. What the fuck were you expecting? So, that's slightly unfortunate, considering that Dick Kickin still had some pretty... still had a pretty significant role to play in this fight. But whatever. I just decided to give Spearmint a crack, because, again, choice band, locked into the one move, get in something that can tank it pretty well. That's actually a surprising amount of damage. Yeah, there it is. There's frickin' Sand Veil coming into effect again. For God's sakes, change that shit, Drayano. You're ruining people's expectations. It's whatever. It's not a huge deal. I was actually starting to think that it actually hits the knockout here, like with a rogue crit or something. But evidently that's not the case. So yeah, Dog Trio can be annoying. Especially banded. I mean, not that you would really want a Scarf, it's already fast enough as it is, so... That's how you deal with that. Okay, Rhyperior. So, going back to the whole focused energy rain dance thing that I went on a tangent about earlier in this segment, this is where it bites me in the ass, because I went in with title thinking I had rain dance, but I don't. Well, let's hope that the special defense boost from Sandstorm does not come into play here. Pretty sure it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't, so rep. Get out of here. I mean, it is still, until proven otherwise, the best Rhyperior in the game because it beat mine. Just depressing. It's like RNG worked for me once in a mirror match, but it didn't actually matter at that time. It needed to be a bit more of a crucial point in the fight. So, Spearmint is best suited to taking out this freaking Quagsire, but it's got bugger all HP. I don't think it'll survive the... There aren't actually any rocks in this fight, I just realized, duh. But I guess it looks like this Quagsire isn't really keen on being a direct attacker. All it's doing here is just going up with Yawn. I think it actually, like, yawns a couple of my Pokemon and puts them to sleep, which it causes a slight inconvenience a little bit later on in the fight. Because, yeah, either way, I got to bloody switch out to try to get as much value out of my screens as I possibly can. So I'm like, alright, we'll go in with Suricate then. And then Earthquake. Sounds about right. I should probably use a Quagsire again in a future playthrough. I used one in, I think, like Heart Gold or Soul Silver, but I named it Quake, which is a really stupid and generic name. Something like Quake really shouldn't be used as a nickname on a freaking Quagsire of all things. I'm probably biased into that idea just because of the video game, which Quagsire would stick out like a sore thumb. Although that'd be an understatement. Quagsire sticking out like a sore thumb in Quake would be a friggin' understatement of the century, because good god. So fucking thing heals as well, because, you know, it's got to be as annoying as it possibly can be with its derpy face, and it's just other dumbass features. I think here I get an attack boost from strength. Either that or I got it earlier. I think I do get a +1 attack in this fight. I can't remember. I again wasn't paying attention. Not that it matters, because, you know, going back to fucking sleep. So I've got 2 Mons asleep. I could bowl in with Pompoda. I guess I go with Tidal instead. And I think that this does not actually work out in my benefit. Obviously, I'm not, like, outright weak to Ice Beam, but I figured, alright, I've got Focus Energy, might as well give it a shot. And then either Earthquake just does quite a bit more damage than I would really have liked it to, or I get a crit. Oh, no. Okay. Guess that's Reflect for you. Yeah, there's my mistake. I fucking rushed through the damn thing and misclicked Focus Energy again. So, complete waste of a turn there. How did I forget that? It's probably one of the stupidest things I did during this challenge. So yeah, once again, the Rain Dance versus Sandstorm thing comes into play here, because guess what it's holding? Stupid ass fucking berry. So it just barely passes 2-hit KO range, but since I fucked up and used Focus Energy twice, I am in fact losing title here. Should not have lost title here, but Brain decided to take a vacation there. Asshole. So I've got Spearmint. I'm expecting I'm expecting this thing to have Ice Shard. So I'm like, alright, I probably have to just send in Death Fodder and heal something. So I think, what do I use, a full heal or something? I guess I'm full healing on Jaeger, which is nice. And then Stone Edge misses for once, which benefits me as well. And the timing of that heal actually works out pretty well, because my screens are just about out here. My light screen's gone, and then my Reflect will be out this turn. And then I take the opportunity to heal Spearmint. I thought I had enough to heal Spearmint up with a Hyper Potion, but I end up being 1 short because my quick and dirty maths sometimes is actually quite dirty and shit. It shouldn't be. I was more of a maths kid than an English kid in school. But whatever. I guess I just get to a point where I get overconfident about my math skills, and then I just get a question wrong and be like, how the fuck did I get that wrong? Just dumb as shit. So These screens should take care of the rest of the fight here. I think she's only got one Pokemon after this. There's only like a minute left in the video, so... Oh yeah, I think the critical actually benefits me more here. Just because just because Spearmint gets a free switch in. And so I can just clean it up with Seed Bomb without too much of a hitch. And then here we have the bloody, following on from the Mamoswine is the Torterra, which just gets one banged with Ice Beam, so yeah, there you go. So here comes the turtle, provided I outspeed it, which, I mean, it's a fucking turtle, I'd be quite concerned if the turtle outsped me here. Ice Beam. You just Ice Beam this thing, it goes extinct. So, that was Bertha. That was the, as I mentioned earlier, ambiguous relation to Agatha. I don't think it was anything ever actually confirmed. It's just an old lady in the Elite Four that does stuff, so she's out the way. Next time things are going to be heating up quite a significant amount. Flint is quite an arsehole in this game. You'll soon see.